people often believe that success comes from big moments. A promotion. A breakthrough idea. A lucky break. You see the highlight. You see the award, the applause, the result. And it is easy to think that is when everything changed. But that is not how real success works. That is not how quiet inner discipline is built. The truth is simple. Your life is not built in the big moments. Your life is built in the small, quiet, daily moments no one sees. Not in the loud day of victory, but in the quiet mornings you got up and did what you said you would do. Ask yourself, what is really shaping your future right now? The one or two big decisions you remember? Or the dozens of small choices you make every single day? You already know the answer. It is the daily choices. It is the habits that run quietly in the background of your life. There is a myth that strong discipline feels dramatic. That it feels like a surge of power, a wave of motivation, a huge decision. But real discipline is often calm. Almost boring. Almost invisible. You may look at disciplined people and think they are different. You may think they woke up one day with some special gift. But they did not. They simply trained themselves. Quietly. Day by day. They built inner discipline the same way you build a strong muscle. Not in one extreme workout, but in many small, steady repetitions. So if you want a different life, begin here. Not with louder motivation. Not with bigger goals. But with 5 simple daily habits that build quiet inner discipline. Before we name them, you need to understand something deeper. Because if you only copy the habits without understanding the principle, you will not keep them. Think of a city at night. You see the lights. You see the busy streets. You see the tall buildings. But under the ground, out of sight, there is something else. There are tunnels, pipes, cables, a whole hidden system that makes the city work. If you only judge the city by what you see on the surface, you would miss the real power. The real power is underground. It is invisible, but it runs everything. Your life works the same way. Your visible results are like the lights of the city. Your income, your health, your relationships, your work. But below the surface, there is your inner world. Your thoughts, your standards, your daily habits, your quiet inner discipline. Most people spend their time trying to fix the lights. They want a brighter job, brighter income, brighter body, brighter relationships. But they ignore the system underground. They ignore the habits. They ignore the hidden routines. They ignore the quiet discipline that supports everything. Here is the principle. Your outer life can never rise higher, for long, than your inner discipline. If you do not upgrade what is underground, you cannot keep what you build above it. So the work that really matters is invisible. It happens when no one is watching. It happens in your ordinary days, in your ordinary moments. That is what daily habits are. They are the quiet system under your life. They are the pipes and cables under the city of your results. Now, I want you to see your day differently. Not as random hours to get through, but as a training ground. A place to build quiet inner discipline on purpose. And we will do it with 5 daily habits. 5 simple practices. Not dramatic. Not loud. But powerful. The first habit is this: begin each day with a few minutes of stillness and intention. No noise. No rushing. Just you, sitting quietly, deciding how you will show up today. The second habit: do one important, uncomfortable task early in the day. Not the easy work. Not the quick win. The task that matters. The one you might avoid. The third habit: manage one area of your life with quiet, daily order. It could be your money. It could be your schedule. It could be your health. But each day, you touch it. You bring order to it. The fourth habit: keep one small promise you make to yourself every day. Not a big promise. A small, clear one. Something you can measure. Something you can complete. The fifth habit, end each day with reflection. Ask yourself what worked, what did not, and what you will adjust tomorrow. You learn. You correct. You release the day. These 5 habits build a kind of inner strength that does not shout. It does not need to be seen. But it changes who you are on the inside. Before we walk through each habit deeper, you need to understand another law. The law of preparation and opportunity. People call it luck when preparation meets opportunity. But from the inside, it does not feel like luck. It feels like responsibility. Think of your life as a field. Opportunity is like rain. You cannot control when the rain comes. You cannot control how heavy it falls. But you can control the field. You can clear the rocks. You can turn the soil. You can plant the seeds. When the rain comes, the prepared field responds. The unprepared field does not. Here is the law: opportunity rewards preparation and ignores distraction. 2 people may stand under the same rain. One sees growth. One sees mud. 2 people may face the same moment at work. A chance to lead. A chance to solve a problem. A chance to step up. One is ready. They have been building quiet inner discipline. They have been practicing focus. They have been doing the uncomfortable work. The other is not ready. They have been distracted. They have been waiting for motivation. They have been hoping for a break. From the outside, one looks lucky. From the inside, they were simply prepared. Your 5 daily habits are about preparing the field. You cannot predict the rain, but you can be ready for it. Now, let us talk about pressure. Because pressure reveals what is really happening inside you. You can say you are disciplined when life is easy. You can say you are patient when no one is testing your patience. You can say you are focused when nothing is pulling at your attention. But pressure tells the truth. Ask yourself, what happens to you when pressure hits? Do you get sharper? Or do you fall apart? Imagine the first example. A person at work. They have a deadline in 3 weeks. At first, it feels far away. If they have not built daily discipline, what do? They delay. They say, I work better under pressure. They spend the first 2 weeks distracted. They fill their days with easy tasks. Then, in the last few days, the pressure hits. They panic. They rush. Mistakes appear. They stay up late. They feel stressed. They submit something just in time, but they know it is not their best. Now look at someone with quiet inner discipline. Same deadline. Same 3 weeks. On day 1, they sit in stillness for a few minutes. They picture the finished work. They decide how they will move toward it today. Early each day, they do one important, uncomfortable task connected to that deadline. They break the work into pieces. They move a little bit forward every single day. At the end of each day, they reflect. What did I finish? What is left? What needs to be corrected? When the final days come, they are calm. The work is mostly done. The pressure is there, but it does not crush them. It sharpens them. The difference is not talent. It is not intelligence. It is daily discipline. Second example. Imagine someone who never pays attention to their money. They do not know what comes in or what goes out. They do not plan. They avoid looking at numbers because it feels uncomfortable. Then suddenly, an emergency hits. A car problem. A medical bill. A job loss. Pressure. In that moment, what does the pressure reveal? It reveals habits. It reveals years of ignoring, delaying, distracting. Now imagine someone who, each day, practices quiet financial discipline. They track their spending for a few minutes. They plan small amounts of saving. They make tiny adjustments. They live with simple, steady awareness. The same emergency hits. It is still hard. It is still stressful. But they have a cushion. They have a plan. They have options. The same pressure, different pattern. Pressure does not create your patterns. It exposes them. So when you build these 5 daily habits, do not think of them only as routines. Think of them as training. You are training yourself to stay calm under pressure. You are training yourself to act, not react. You are training yourself to show up with strength when it matters most. Now, to build that strength, you must protect something very valuable. You must protect your focus. In today's world, distraction is cheaper than ever. A small device in your hand can steal hours from your day. A single click can scatter your attention in 100 directions. But your focus is gold. Treat it that way. Ask yourself, where does your attention go when you wake up? Do you reach for your phone? Or do you reach for your own mind? This is where the first daily habit comes in. Begin your day with stillness and intention. When you wake up, do not let the world rush in first. Not messages. Not news. Not other people's plans. Sit quietly for a few minutes. Breathe. Let your thoughts slow down. Then ask yourself 3 simple questions. Who do I want to be today? What truly matters today? What one important thing will I move forward? This is not about long meditation. It is about ownership. You take back the first minutes of your day. You place your hands on the steering wheel of your mind. In those minutes, you protect your focus. You direct it. You do not let it be taken from you. From that stillness, you move into the second habit. Do one important, uncomfortable task early in the day. There is a quiet power in doing the hard thing first. Most people push it to the end. They start with easy tasks, simple messages, quick activities. By the time they reach the important work, they are tired. Their focus is scattered. When you reverse that pattern, you train your mind in a new way. You are telling yourself, I do what matters, even when it is not comfortable. You build trust with yourself. You build confidence. You build quiet inner discipline. Now, this raises a question. How do you know what is important? How do you choose the right hard task? Here is a simple filter. Ask yourself, if I only finished one thing today that would move my life forward, what would it be? That is usually your important task. Not urgent. Important. Do it early. Protect the time for it. Turn off notifications. Close extra tabs. Let people know you are not available for that window. Treat that time like a meeting with your future self. You would not cancel a meeting with someone you deeply respect. Do not cancel this meeting either. This is how you protect your focus like gold. Not just by avoiding distraction, but by gently, firmly, directing your attention to what really matters. Now let us look at the third habit. Manage one area of your life with quiet, daily order. Why only one area? Because discipline grows best when you focus it. Not scattered. Not everywhere at once. Maybe you begin with your time. Each evening, you spend a few minutes planning the next day. You decide what matters. You give your time a job before the world gives it a distraction. Or you begin with financial discipline. Each day, you write down what you spent. No judgment. Just awareness. Or you begin with health. Each day, you move your body for a short time. You drink more water. You choose one simple action that brings order to your health. The area is your choice. The principle is the same. You bring daily order to one part of your life. Not with big dramatic changes. With small, steady actions. Over time, that order spreads. You find it easier to be disciplined in other areas too. Because inner discipline is not separate in each part of your life. It is one muscle, used in many ways. The fourth habit is about that muscle directly. Keep one small promise you make to yourself every day. Many people are good at keeping promises to others. They show up for meetings. They answer messages. They meet external deadlines, but they break promises to themselves. They say they will start reading. They say they will eat better. They say they will save. Then they do not. Every time you break a promise to yourself, you weaken trust. Not trust with others. Trust with yourself. When you no longer trust yourself, discipline becomes hard. You do not believe your own words. Your goals feel like wishes, not commitments. So start small. Choose one promise you will keep every day, no matter what. It might be I will read 10 pages. It might be I will walk for 10 minutes. It might be I will write down my expenses. Small, clear, measurable. Then keep it. Every day. You are teaching yourself, when I say I will do something, I do it. That is quiet inner discipline. The fifth habit brings all of this together. End each day with reflection. Take a few minutes before sleep. Turn off the noise. Ask yourself 3 questions. What did I do well today? Where did I fall short? What will I do differently tomorrow? Do not use this time to attack yourself. Use it to learn. Use it to adjust. This is the growth sequence in simple form. You learn. You apply. You evaluate. You correct. You persist. In the morning, you set intention. During the day, you act. In the evening, you review and adjust. Day by day, this sequence shapes you. Slowly. Quietly. Powerfully. Ask yourself, what would change in your life if you followed this simple sequence for the next year? Learn. Apply. Evaluate. Correct. Persist. You would not recognize yourself. This is another law. Growth is not an event. Growth is a cycle you repeat. Most people learn once, apply once, then give up. They say, it did not work. But they skipped evaluate. They skipped correct. They skipped persist. You are going to be different. You will learn something small each day. From a book. From a conversation. From your own mistakes. You will apply it. Not perfectly, but honestly. You will evaluate. What worked? What did not? You will correct. Adjust the habit. Adjust the timing. Adjust the approach. Then you will persist. You will repeat. Again and again. This is how inner discipline grows. Not in a straight line, but in a series of small corrections. Now we need to talk about something that often confuses people. The difference between discipline and motivation. Many people wait for motivation to act. They say, when I feel like it, I will start. When I am inspired, I will change. But look back at your life. How often did you feel like it? How often did motivation stay long enough to carry you through hard work? Motivation is like a spark. It is useful to start a fire. But it is not enough to keep the fire burning. Discipline is the wood you keep adding to the fire. Quietly. Regularly. Here is the hard truth. If you only act when you feel like it, you will never build real discipline. Because discipline is the ability to act even when you do not feel like it. Systems beat moods. Routines beat feelings. Habits beat motivation. You do not need to feel inspired to sit for 5 minutes in stillness each morning. You do not need to feel excited to complete one uncomfortable task. You do not need a surge of energy to write down your expenses or to reflect on your day. You need a decision. You need a system. Your system is simple. 5 daily habits. Same actions, day after day. No debate. No negotiation. The more you repeat them, the less energy they take. They become part of who you are. You move from I try to be disciplined to I am a disciplined person. Ask yourself, what kind of person do you want to be? Someone who depends on moods? Or someone who depends on principles? One is unstable. The other is steady. Now, even with strong discipline, you still need another quality. You need strategic patience. We live in a world that loves fast results. Fast delivery. Fast entertainment. Fast answers. But the deepest changes in your character do not move at that speed. They move like seasons. Think of a farmer again. They do not plant a seed today and dig it up tomorrow to check if it is growing. They understand that each season has a purpose. There is a season to prepare the soil. A season to plant. A season to water and protect. A season to harvest. In your life, you want harvest all the time. You want visible results, constant progress, clear evidence. But inner discipline grows mostly in the unseen seasons. The season where you show up every day, and nothing seems to change. The season where you repeat the same small habits, and no one notices. That season is not a waste. That season is where roots grow. One day, the results will appear. One day, your work will be noticed. One day, people will call you lucky, gifted, different. But they will not see the years of quiet practice. They will not see the mornings you sat in stillness. They will not see the nights you reflected and corrected. One day you will have more peace. One day you will have more strength under pressure. One day you will have more freedom in your time and money. And you will know why. Because in the hidden seasons, you stayed faithful to small habits. Strategic patience is this understanding. You do the right things daily, and you give them time to work. Not blind patience. Not waiting without action. Active patience. Disciplined patience. You keep planting. You keep watering. You keep protecting your focus. You do not dig up your efforts every week to complain. You trust the process. This is difficult in a fast world. So ask yourself, can you be patient with your own growth? Can you give yourself time to become a new person? Your 5 daily habits are not a quick fix. They are a long-term path. A way of living. Now, as you walk this path, there is something else you must value. Feedback. Refinement. Measurement and correction. Discipline without feedback becomes rigid. You can work hard in the wrong direction. You can repeat the same unhelpful pattern for years. So you must measure. You must be willing to look at the truth. When you end your day with reflection, you are doing this. You are taking a gentle but honest look at yourself. Not am I perfect? But am I better than yesterday? Not did I do everything? But did I do the most important things? Feedback can come from numbers too. How many days this month did you keep your small promise? How many days did you sit in morning stillness? How often did you complete your one important task early? Do not guess. Write it down. What gets measured gets attention. What gets attention can be improved. When you see your patterns, you can correct them. Maybe you notice you skip your morning stillness on days you go to bed late. That feedback invites a change. Protect your sleep. Maybe you notice you avoid your important task when it is unclear. That feedback invites another change. Define it clearly the night before. You are not judging yourself. You are coaching yourself. This is how you refine your system. You keep the habits the same in principle, but you adjust the details. You make them fit your real life. That brings us to another powerful force at work in your life. Momentum. Compounding. The quiet flywheel effect. At first, discipline feels heavy. Like pushing a large wheel that does not want to move. Your morning stillness feels awkward. Your important task feels painful. Your evening reflection feels forced. But you push. You keep showing up. Little by little, the wheel begins to move. The more it moves, the easier it is to keep it moving. Your habits begin to support each other. Your morning stillness makes your focus stronger. Your focus makes your important task easier. Your important task gives you a sense of progress. Your progress gives energy to your reflection at night. Each habit feeds the others. This is the flywheel effect. Compounding is not only about money. It is about character. It is about discipline. One day of discipline does not change you. 10 days begin to form a pattern. 100 days begin to form an identity. One day you speak differently about yourself. Not "I am trying to be consistent," but "I am consistent." Not "I wish I had more control over my life," but "I create control through my habits." Momentum is fragile at first. It is like a small flame. You need to protect it. This is why, in the beginning, the size of the habit matters less than the consistency. Better 5 minutes every day than 1 hour once a week. Better a small promise kept every day than a huge promise broken after 3 days. You are not trying to impress anyone with how much you do. You are building a lifestyle. A quiet, disciplined lifestyle. And this is where we arrive at the deepest level. Breakthrough is a lifestyle. Most people see breakthrough as a single event. A moment when everything changes. But real breakthrough is different. Real breakthrough is the natural result of who you are becoming. It is not a moment you wait for. It is a person you grow into. You are not just building 5 habits. You are building a new identity. You are becoming someone who takes ownership of each day. Who protects their focus. Who does what matters. Who learns from mistakes. Who can be trusted by others and by themselves. That is quiet inner discipline. And when you live this way, breakthroughs stop being rare. They become normal. Not always big, but steady. You become the person who keeps moving, even when it is hard. You become the person who stays calm under pressure. You become the person others can depend on. This is not loud. It will not always be praised. It will not always be noticed. But you will feel it. In your mind. In your heart. In your choices. You will feel a new kind of peace. Because you will know you are no longer lying to yourself. You will know you are no longer waiting for motivation. You are living by principle. And that is the path to a life you respect. Now, we will go even deeper into how these habits shape each area of your life, and how to stay with them when you feel like giving up. Now, we will go even deeper into how these habits shape each area of your life, and how to stay with them when you feel like giving up. Because at some point, you will want to give up. You will be tired. You will be discouraged. You will say, "Is this really doing anything?" That is the moment where inner discipline is either built or broken. Think first about your mind. Your thoughts. Your inner world. When you begin your day with stillness and intention, you are not just sitting quietly. You are training your mind to pause before it reacts. You are creating a small gap between stimulus and response. In that gap, you choose. You choose your attitude. You choose your focus. You choose your standards. Over time, this changes how you meet the world. When something unexpected happens, you no longer react instantly with anger or fear. You feel the old reaction rise. But there is a new habit in you now. You pause. You breathe. You remember who you decided to be today. That calm second of awareness is worth more than many hours of regret. Now think about your work. Your career. Your business. When you do one important, uncomfortable task early in the day, you are shaping your future. Most people let the day decide for them. They jump from message to message. They let urgency bury importance. You will be different. You will train yourself to taste the discomfort of important work and to face it. You send the proposal that scares you. You start the project that might fail. You make the call that could be awkward. Day after day, this habit moves you toward your goals faster than almost anything else. Because important tasks are often the ones that open doors. They build skills. They build courage. They build reputation. You become known as the person who moves things forward. Not the person who talks. The person who acts. Now think about your money. Your financial life. When you bring daily order to it, even in a small way, you build quiet financial discipline. You write down what you spent today. You look at your balance, even if it feels uncomfortable. You move a small amount to savings, even if it seems tiny. At first, it seems too small to matter. You may think, this will not change anything. But you are not just managing numbers. You are training your relationship with money. You are teaching yourself to look, to be aware, to be honest. Financial discipline does not begin with large investments. It begins with the courage to see the truth, to know where you stand, to accept it without running away. From that place, you can change. You can set limits. You can create goals. You can make plans. Without that daily habit, money stays emotional and vague. With it, money becomes a tool you can guide. Now think about your body, your health. When you keep one small promise each day that supports your health, you are building self-respect. Maybe your promise is to walk for 10 minutes. Maybe it is to stretch. Maybe it is to drink more water or avoid a certain food. It may not look like much from the outside. No one will applaud you for a 10-minute walk. No one will praise you for passing on one sugary drink. But you will feel something inside. A quiet voice saying, I am taking care of myself. That voice is powerful. It softens self-criticism. It strengthens self-trust. Without small promises you keep, it is easy to fall into extremes. Strict rules for a few days. Then guilt. Then giving up. You do not need extremes. You need something you can keep doing on your ordinary days. Finally, think about your relationships. Your connections with others. How does ending your day with reflection help here? You look back and ask, how did I treat people today? Maybe you notice you spoke sharply to someone. Maybe you see that you ignored a person who needed your attention. Maybe you realize you failed to express appreciation. In that moment, you have a chance to correct. You can decide, tomorrow, I will speak to them differently. I will apologize. I will say thank you. Relationships fall apart slowly, through small neglects. But they are also strengthened slowly, through small intentional actions. Your evening reflection gives you a chance to repair, to adjust, to grow in how you love and serve others. So these habits are not just about productivity. They are about the whole of your life. Mind, work, money, health, relationships. They shape the person you are becoming in every area. Now, let us be honest. None of this will happen perfectly. You will miss days. You will break promises. You will fall back into old patterns. There will be mornings when you reach for your phone instead of stillness. There will be days when you skip your important task. There will be nights when you forget to reflect. What do you do then? How do you stay with the path of discipline when you keep stumbling? First, you must release the idea of all or nothing. That idea destroys more progress than failure ever will. If you miss one day, it does not mean you are weak. It does not mean you are hopeless. It means you are human. The danger is not in missing once. The danger is in letting one miss turn into many. So create a quiet rule for yourself. If you miss a day, you return the next day. You do not argue. You do not delay. You simply return. You say to yourself, yesterday is over. Today I begin again. This simple approach protects your momentum. It keeps guilt from becoming a heavy chain around your ankles. Guilt says, you failed, so why try? Discipline says, you stumbled, so stand up. Ask yourself, how many times have you started something, stopped, and then waited weeks or months to begin again because you felt ashamed? What would change if you removed that delay? If you allowed yourself to restart the very next day, calmly, without drama? Second, when you feel like giving up, reduce the size of the habit, not the commitment. You may be tired. Your schedule may be full. Your energy may be low. On such days, you can still protect the identity you are building. You can say, I keep my habits, even on hard days. I just do a smaller version. Maybe your morning stillness is usually 10 minutes. On a hard day, you sit for 2 minutes. Maybe your important task usually takes an hour. On a hard day, you spend 15 focused minutes moving it forward. Maybe your evening reflection is usually written. On a hard day, you simply sit and think through the questions silently. You are not lowering your standards. You are preserving your pattern. The law is this: it is better to do a little than to do nothing. A tiny step keeps the door open. No step begins to close it. Third, remember why you started. Discipline without a why becomes heavy. It feels like punishment. It feels like obligation. But discipline rooted in a clear reason becomes lighter. It has meaning. So ask yourself, very honestly, why do you want inner discipline? Not because someone else told you to be disciplined. Not because it sounds good. What do you want to change? What pain are you tired of living with? What future are you hungry to create? Maybe you are tired of feeling behind in your life. Always rushed. Always reacting. Always cleaning up after yesterday's lack of discipline. Maybe you want to be a different example for your children. You want them to see consistency, not chaos. Strength, not excuses. Maybe you simply want to be able to trust yourself. To look in the mirror and say, I keep my word to me. Write that reason down. Keep it close. When you want to quit, read it again. Remember, discipline is not about suffering. It is about alignment. Aligning your daily actions with the life you say you want. Fourth, understand that resistance is part of the process. You will face inner resistance. Thoughts like, this is not working. I am not made for this. It will not matter if I skip. These are not messages of truth. They are messages of comfort. They are your old patterns trying to keep their place. When you hear them, do not argue. Do not fight. Just see them for what they are. Say to yourself, I expected this. This is what change feels like. Then act anyway. You do not need to win an argument in your mind to keep a promise with your actions. You simply do the next small step. Now, let us look at one more powerful idea. Identity. Your habits are not just things you do. They are statements about who you believe you are. If you see yourself as someone who is always late, always disorganized, always weak, your mind will try to keep that identity alive. Even when you try to change, you will sabotage yourself to return to what feels familiar. So, slowly, gently, you must update the story you tell yourself. Instead of saying, I am bad with money, begin to say, I am learning financial discipline, one small action at a time. Instead of saying, I am lazy, begin to say, I am becoming a person who takes action, even when it is hard. Instead of saying, I never stick to anything, begin to say, I am building consistency through small promises I keep. You are not lying to yourself. You are describing a process, not a finished state. Words matter. They create pathways in your mind. They either lock you in your past or open doors to your future. So be careful with the labels you accept. Reject the ones that shrink you. Choose the ones that reflect who you are becoming. Your 5 daily habits are tools to support this new identity. They are not separate from who you are. They are part of the story you are writing about yourself. Each morning of stillness says, I am a person who leads my mind, not a person who is dragged by it. Each important task done early says, I am a person who faces what matters, not a person who hides from it. Each act of daily order with your time, money, or health says, I am a person who lives responsibly, not a person who lives by accident. Each small promise kept says, I am a person whose word means something. Each evening of reflection says, I am a person who learns, not a person who repeats the same mistakes without thought. That is a powerful identity. Calm. Steady. Reliable. Imagine walking into each day carrying that quiet strength inside you. You will not feel perfect. You will not feel ready for everything. But you will feel rooted. Grounded. Centered. From that place, setbacks do not crush you as easily. Criticism does not define you as deeply. Discomfort does not scare you as much. Because you are not just drifting through life. You are living by chosen habits. Now, let us connect this way of living to something greater. Contribution. Impact. Inner discipline is not only for your benefit. It is for the people around you. For the work you are called to do. For the value you can bring into the world. Think of the person who shows up consistently. On time. Prepared. Focused. That person lifts the weight from the shoulders of others. They are dependable. They are trusted. Think of the parent who manages their emotions with discipline. They do not explode in anger as often. They pause. They listen. They apologize when they are wrong. That parent changes the atmosphere of their home. They create safety. They create stability. Think of the friend who reflects each night on their relationships. They notice when they have hurt someone. They reach out. They heal. Their quiet discipline becomes love in action. Your discipline is not selfish. It is service. When you are steady, others can lean on you. When you are focused, others can count on you. When you are growing, others are inspired by you. You may never give a speech about discipline. You may never teach it with words. But you will teach it with your life. People are always watching more than listening. They watch how you act when you are tired. They watch how you respond when you are under pressure. They watch what you do when it would be easy to cut corners. Your quiet habits build a quiet testimony. A living example of what it looks like to live by principle instead of impulse. Now, imagine yourself a year from today. You chose to begin these 5 daily habits and protect them. You were not perfect. You missed days. But you returned. Again and again. What might be different? Picture it clearly. You wake up. Your mind does not feel like a crowded room the moment you open your eyes. You sit in stillness. It feels natural now. Familiar. Your breathing settles. Your thoughts slow. You decide who you will be today. You feel a quiet confidence in that decision. You move into your day. Your important task is already chosen from the night before. You started early. There is resistance, but you know this feeling. You know what to do with it. You keep going. You handle your money with calm awareness. You know what is coming in. You know what is going out. You are not afraid of your own numbers anymore. You keep a small promise to yourself. You go for that walk. You read those pages. You complete that daily act of care. When the day ends, you do not collapse into bed lost in a screen. You pause. You reflect. You give thanks for what went well. You notice what did not. You choose one thing to adjust tomorrow. You fall asleep with a sense of direction. You are not where you want to be yet. But you are also no longer where you used to be. That is the feeling discipline gives you. Not perfection. Direction. There will still be storms. There will still be unexpected events. There will still be days that do not go your way. But you will have an anchor inside you. Habits that hold you steady. Principles that guide you. In that state, life feels different. You are no longer just enduring your days. You are shaping them. Now, let us return to the core laws you have heard, and let them settle deeper. Your outer life cannot rise higher, for long, than your inner discipline. Opportunity rewards preparation and ignores distraction. Pressure does not create your patterns, it reveals them. Systems beat moods. Growth is a cycle: learn, apply, evaluate, correct, persist. Small actions, done daily, compound into great change. These are not just ideas. They are laws you can build your life on. You may feel that your life is complex right now. Many responsibilities. Many pressures. Many roles. But the path forward does not need to be complex. It can be simple. 5 daily habits. Quietly practiced. Protected like something precious. Begin the day with stillness and intention. Face one important, uncomfortable task early. Bring daily order to one area of your life. Keep one small promise to yourself. End the day with reflection and adjustment. If all of this feels like too much, start even smaller. Choose one habit. Practice it for a week. Then add another. Remember the field. You are preparing the soil. You are removing the rocks of distraction. You are planting the seeds of inner strength. You may not see the growth at first, but it is happening. Beneath the surface. Quietly. One day, someone will look at your life and say, "They are so calm under pressure. They are so focused. They have such self-control." They will see the lights of the city. They will not see the work you did underground. But you will know. You will know about the mornings of stillness. You will know about the uncomfortable tasks you faced. You will know about the daily discipline with your time and money. You will know about the small promises you refuse to break. You will know about the nightly reflections and corrections. You will know that nothing happened by accident. Your life became a reflection of what you did quietly when no one was watching. So now the invitation is simple. Not dramatic. Not loud. Begin. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, sit for a few minutes in stillness. Breathe. Ask yourself, who do I want to be today? What matters most today? Then, choose your one important task. Face it early. Even if it is only for a short time. Bring a little order to one area of your life. Write something down. Plan one thing. Put something in its place. Keep one small promise you make to yourself. Guard it. Protect it. Complete it. Tonight, before you sleep, reflect. What did I do well? Where did I fall short? What will I adjust tomorrow? Then rest. Tomorrow, repeat. Not perfectly. Faithfully. One day, then another, then another. Let the world chase shortcuts. Let others search for dramatic formulas. You will walk the quiet path. The path of small, steady, daily habits. The path of quiet inner discipline. And over time, you will discover something surprising. The life you once hoped for in a distant way. The strength you once admired only in others. The peace you once thought belonged to a different kind of person. Will be in you. Built by you. Sustained by you. Not through loud moments of inspiration, but through 5 simple daily habits, lived with calm commitment. The path is in front of you. The choice is in your hands. Begin today. And keep going.